illustrious guest, the infamous Mr. This Is Why I'm Hot, Sean Mims. Everybody put your hands together. Give me some confetti.
Yeah.
Give some confetti. Give some
Clap
confetti.
them controllers. Yeah.
Go ahead and
Appreciate
introduce
it, man.
yourself, King.
Appreciate it. Well, first of all, I go by the name of Mims, which professionally known as a musician, Mims, which is also my real name. Um, I've been in the music industry for, I would say, over 15 plus years. I decided to take my talents to a different industry, so I got involved in technology, software investments, and then eventually building startups, and then getting into the blockchain sector, Web3 sector, which is where I'm at now. Um, I spent a lot of my time really educating people in my community on the Web3 space and the blockchain space, and all the benefits that it may have for the future. So honestly,
Mm-hmm.
just being a part of what you guys are doing in this world, you guys, I don't, it's not a part of my intro, but you guys are essentially at the helm of technology right now, and what you're doing here in Horizons, and this is really what where things are leading. So I'm happy. Thank you for having me, for sure.
Confetti, confetti, confetti. Thank you,
Yes.
brother. I appreciate your presence, man. And we might be at the helm, but people like you coming in here is what's pushing it forward. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it, man. Danica, tell the people about yourself as you work on my
So,
janky script.
hey, no problem, bro. So, um, I'm one of the people who've been privileged to be in Horizon before the big rush came in. Definitely one of the first Black creators to be in here doing something to just get notarized, and then now I'm learning to be a professional dealing with Web3, developing NFTs, being able to partner with some of my favorite musicians, being able to meet just great people like Ace Burns in here and Rhonda and Black Jedi and all you guys. Shout out people like Crack Goddess in the building and Juju Payne and Bout a Bag 365. I'm just blessed, man, and just happy to be here. Looking forward to see how we can all expand this space and also create room for people who look like us. And I know I said it in the chat with all you guys, but this really is a circle of Black excellence, man. Shout out TY, who's not here right now, but I'm sure he's on the way.
He'll definitely pull up. I'm sure he will.
Dope.
Rhonda,
Dope.
please.
Yes.
Rhonda X.
Yes. Rhonda X. So I would say my journey began when COVID hit. Like yourself, it was kind of like when COVID hit, it's like, okay, well, I'm a business owner, but to be a business owner, you got to be innovative. You got to make changes. You got to adjust. And 19 came and it just kind of kicked all of us in the ass for real. So I was like, all right, let me start looking at these stocks. Let me start learning how to invest. Let me just start learning financial literacy while I have all this time on my hand. And I think with that, I start learning how to trade Forex. But overall, what it taught me are patterns with how people buy, patterns with how people follow trends and what's popular and FOMO. And when I started learning about Metaverse, I knew it was the next big thing as far as .com. And I'm like, okay, this is so new. It'll be my fault not to get a piece of the pie. So I basically bought the headset in January. And ever since then, I was like, I'm going to start a business in this platform. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I don't think none of us do. And I just kept going. And it's just kind of turning into something completely different. But I'm so grateful for just the community, just the other people supporting each other, and just the constant opportunities. That's why I'm like, I have to come speak. Like,
Yeah.
get out this headset from building. Let me come chop it up with the community, the day
Yeah,
ones.
I hear that. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you. You're being very modest. Tell the people about what you've been working with. MasterCard, like get into it.
Oh man, like, yeah. I mean, I've been working on some major projects, but
Oh
it's
wait, fire.
like,
Sorry, wait. Is it, you're on the NDA? I forgot.
No, MasterCard, that project is out there, but
Okay.
like that, I'm very grateful for those opportunities, but that's not that's not the core of everything. That's just the fire under my ass, and I'm just keep going. Those aren't my greatest moments. Those are literally the best so far. But like I'm just gonna keep going and just stay humble, because honestly, all this stuff can end for all of us tomorrow. For real, for
Yo,
real.
real
So
talk, real talk. And I'm just gonna be the first one to say it. Rhonda is the baddest chick that's in this room right now.
what? Oh my God! Don't do
She's
that.
also the wait, but
I'm
she also
actually
the only
very
chick.
intelligent.
You're,
Also,
you're the only chick in the room, so I mean, and kind of just throwing. Yeah, we need more women.
I'll
That's
take
the
that
more.
ace.
That's the main thing. But you are dope. Black Jedi, tell the people about what you got going on.
Man, look, bro. Hold on. Yeah, so my bad. My wife was talking to me at the same time.
He said, bro.
only in meta. You arguing?
Only in
He
the
just got
meta.
home from a
Nah.
long
I hear her
drive,
in the
right?
background.
No. Listen, man. I'm working all day, man. But yeah, man. This has always been like I've always been into computers.
Yeah.
No,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh no. I was saying I've always been into computers and graphic design. So like I was building computers since I was like 15. So I've always been like into electronics. Hell, even younger than that, at 6, I was taking apart vacuums just to see how they work. So my mind was always wondering how things work. How do they work? How does this turn? How does this move? Why does it move? So I always act like those are the questions I ask, like how, why, and what for. So and this is one of the things that just interests me. Like I got the Oculus Go when it first came out. And as you can tell now, it's pretty trash at this point. But but yeah, I had the Oculus Go when it first came out because I was just interested in just the VR portion of it. And like I want to say like what December I decided to get this, which I didn't really jump on it right away because I had got the PS5. So it was like VR or PS5. PS5 was hot.
But then you start cranking out these masterpieces in meta.
Well, honestly, I didn't crank those out until like March because like I was trying to learn. Like everything I try to do, like seeing Danica doing his thing, seeing Hardy doing this thing, I was just wondering like how they do all of this because the information wasn't out there. So I started to look up stuff on YouTube. I got in touch with not in touch with, but I seen a video of Vidju, and I just started studying those things. Like, hey, how do you like the same questions? How, why, and what for? And those things started to teach me, like, all right, that's how you do this. That's how you do this. And to be kind of transparent, I didn't even know how to use the snap tool until like the end of March. So,
but in meta, that's like 5 years.
But yeah, I mean, just small stuff like that wasn't kind of out there for everybody. Like nobody, there was no thing telling you like, all right, when you first get on here, and maybe it was. I think we were all kind of fast. You know how we open up stuff and we just go straight into it.
Right.
And maybe it did tell us, hey, try to use these tutorials, try to use these, and we kind of skip past them. But I didn't even know those tutorials was there. Like when you create a new world, you scroll down, there's a bunch of like templates down there. And like not knowing that those things were there, I had to I just started learning on my own. Seeing people do stuff, I was like, shoot, I'm gonna try and do that. And I almost quit, to be honest with you. I had started building and it wasn't coming out with the vision I had in my mind, and I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah. But you did it, Black. You did it, Black, and I appreciate you, and we all appreciate you. And for that reason, people can come check out some of the best worlds in Horizons right now. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Like your Friday world. Friday, he did a world called Friday, which is a depiction of the actual Friday, Ice Cube's Friday. Amazing, hilarious, content specific, like on point.
And the Proud
we appreciate
family.
you. And we're gonna give you some more opportunities to talk about your experience and who you are. But right now, as always, this would not be a real meta money talk if we didn't really get into some money. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the first of some rapid question. You got exactly for this first question, you got 1 minute to answer this question. So there's no Googling it. And what I'm gonna do is that's gonna be a chance for you to win $10 for this first question. The next question is 20, and the question after that is 30. But you only get 1 minute, and I'm only doing this for we waste a little bit of time. So I'm gonna do 3 minutes total for this one. So at this time, if you want to answer this question, jump up here, get in the queue. If you are outside, you want to call in, the number is up there, 224-422-2238. I will answer the call live because that's what Meta's about. If you want to make some money, jump in. The line is now open. Say your name and get ready for questioning. Anybody? We'll make some money. $10 Cash App. Let's go.
Oh, I see
Say your name.
Laura in the building. Hey, girl. Sorry. No one wants to
Anybody
come
wanna
up,
try?
win some money. Y'all sound rich.
It's $10.
I'll come up. My name's Lou. What up? Can y'all hear me?
All right, Lou. Say your username for me one more time.
King Lou.
All right, King Lou. You're gonna have approximately 60 seconds. I'm timing you.
All right.
And I'm gonna ask you one question. There are 3 answers. All right, you ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. This is called Earth's fastest. That's the question.
The Jaguar. Cheetah. Uh-huh.
Wait. Calm down. Calm down.
Okay. All right.
Take your time. Pump your brakes. It's only $10. You got this, King Lou.
I'm just a little nervous.
First question: who is the fastest human on the planet?
Usain Bolt.
That's correct. Ding, ding, ding. I didn't have time to script that. Ding, 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 ding. Next question.
Ding, ding, ding.
What is the fastest animal on the planet?
The cheetah.
Ding, 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 ding. That is correct. You got 15 seconds. What is the fastest machine on Earth?
What do you mean? What do you mean fastest machine?
Fastest machine on Earth. Next. Sorry,
Damn.
buddy. Nice try, though. First things first, I gotta get my man's back in here. Oh, do you want to play? Wait.
Danica.
Let me let Danica play. You want to play, Danica? You want to play? You muted.
Yeah, let's do it. What are we doing?
It's
Can you give me the instructions one more time?
Is Earth's fastest. So you basically have to, no, I'm not gonna let you play. You're on the panel. That's not right. That's not right.
That doesn't mean that he knows the answers. Yeah, you should let him play.
Oh,
You guys, I'm so sorry. I have to leave in 4 minutes.
it's all good. You told us. All right, next up. Earth's fastest. Pretty much you only got one question. There's only 1 minute left though. Who wants to play? Jump up. Do. Did you want to play, Danica? Is that why you jumped out? Okay, you fell down. I got you.
Sorry.
I got you. Go ahead, jump up. If you want to play the game, I'll get you back in, Danica. If you want to play the game, jump up the queue. Otherwise, we're gonna move on. We don't have that much time. All right, here we go. Earth's fastest
You
human.
muted, my guy.
You're muted.
bro.
Carte blanche. Fastest guy. Fastest person.
Usain Bolt.
Okay. Fastest animal.
Cheetah.
Fastest machine.
Computer.
Incorrect. Sorry, buddy.
All right. What's the fastest machine?
Fastest machine is a spacecraft or a rocket. That
Oh, you
is
gotta
the
be more
answer.
specific.
That was
earned
a
at least
very
$5.
open question.
I didn't.
Yeah,
That was
you gotta be
Google.
more
I didn't.
specific.
Ask Google. That's Google. That's not me. I swear it's not me.
He
I
should
want
still get
99
$10.
cents. Yeah.
He should still get $10.
I want $10.
Absolutely.
We should all get $10.
Yes. You embarrassed me in front of my peers. I need $10 for that.
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't do it. Blame
Sorry
Google.
about that. Thanks for getting me back, man.
Of course, man. But let's go ahead and get straight into it because I know everybody has a lot to do. It's late.
You shooting them some money.
Yeah. you
Yeah,
know.
everybody has $10. Give him $10. So let's get into something serious right now. And I want everybody to kind of, especially you, Rhonda, because I know you got to leave right now. this is the question. It's all about business acumen. Who influenced you, right? We're in here talking about money, but we really want to know. You know, you can't teach a hustler how to hustle, or can you? Who influenced you? Who taught you how to make money, how to get paid?
Oh, I'm first.
Mhm.
Well, that's such a, and I read the question and still couldn't really answer that because I don't, how I'm getting paid is not how I knew I was going to get paid. I literally just kept doing what worked the first time, what didn't, just adjust it. There, I feel like I've gotten paid in different ways. There's not one way to get paid, but I will say, if you believe in what you're doing and it makes sense in your head, just keep doing it. Then they'll catch on. But it's not for everyone else to understand your vision. Just keep doing it, and then it'll burst through. I would say my
Mm,
vision took about 3 months to really bust through, and that's actually not a lot of time. But just keep going.
Yeah,
Your way is your
yeah.
way. Yeah.
mm. Who
Mims,
taught you
thank you,
that?
brother. Right.
I mean, through just history of me doing other things, I feel like, I have done other stuff in life and it never always made sense until the end. Looking back, hindsight, I'm like, okay,
Mm,
yeah, I was right. I was onto something. So that confidence alone just kind of gave me the ability to just
hmm.
keep going and pivoting where you need to. Because I thought I was going to be selling real estate. That is not what I'm doing right now.
Mm.
Wow. What made you want to do real estate?
Well, in VR, like virtual real estate. Like I was
Okay,
going to
got
tap
you.
into virtual real estate at first. And
Hmm.
it just went somewhere else.
I think one thing, and I definitely want to get your perspective on this, Mims. One thing I think is
Okay.
that even if you don't know or you can't identify who it is, I think somebody in your life tapped you on the shoulder. Maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like there might be somebody if you dig, maybe not. I
Um,
don't know.
I definitely have people that inspire me. So okay, let me change the question. People like Ashes to Ashes, I would say she
Okay.
is such an inspiration to me. I tell her all the time, like when I met her, I was a huge fan because of her consistency, her professionalisms, her modesty, her capabilities of as a scripter, like the way she wears many hats. I would say Ashes to Ashes. And Oculos. Oculos is one of my biggest
Mm.
inspirations. Like he just literally has always been one of those people that was there for any questions I had, and he put me in positions to eat in so many different ways. So crowns off to Oculos
Yeah,
and Paige
yeah.
Danzinger from Women in Horizons.
There you go. Uh-huh.
I love me some Paige.
I love Paige. That's my girl.
Mim, so and it's not necessary that it's all about meta. Like, who
Mhm.
influenced you? Who taught you how to hustle? I mean, we're from New
Mhm.
York.
You
You know,
guys,
I'm
I'm about
Yeah.
to
I
run
know
out.
that has
I don't
something
mean
to
to
do with it
stop
too.
it, but it was such
No,
a
you're
pleasure.
right
I'm
on
gonna catch
time.
up
Right
with you,
on time,
Mims.
Rhonda.
Bye,
You
y'all.
good?
All
You
right.
good?
All right,
Yeah,
Rhonda.
good.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Definitely a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I always say that's a loaded question, and it's actually a really good question. Um, so in life, obviously, what I realize is, man, you're always learning, and you always have different perspectives on things every day.
Hmm.
I don't know where Ace went. I think he disappeared, but
Good thing what you
Yeah,
said.
they
oh,
still
okay.
hear you
My
though. They still hear you.
bad. Yeah. I think every day you learn a different perspective. Growing up, obviously, I grew up in
Mr.
Washington
Ace
Heights,
in the
New York,
building.
and
Okay.
all right, wait.
I'm with you.
Wait.
Sorry about that.
Okay, my
I
bad.
was
I
trying
hear
to get the
Ace.
next. Yeah, we got another guy supposed to come in, but I don't know where he's at right
Oh,
now. I'm sure he'll come in
got it,
later.
got it, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I grew up around hustlers. I grew up in a drug driven community, and growing up, when you see hustlers selling drugs, you start to realize that
Yeah.
there's a market for everything. So it doesn't matter what it is
Mm,
at this point in life. But so that's what really introduced me into music. It was to say, hey, I can find a hustle that I can do, that I'm also passionate about the creative process, and then I can make money off of it. That's great. Um,
mhm.
but one of the things I realize as you get older, especially as I've diversified in my life, and I've made sure that I have money coming in from different areas in business, is that really what should inspire you is not necessarily how much money you can generate, but it's really about what feeds your soul, is what I like to tell people, right? You got to feed your soul, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that know how to generate a lot of financial wealth, but they're they're poor as it relates to other things. So having my son, when I walk around with my son nowadays, and he's obviously 2 years old, I realize that his heroes are garbage men, because he loves seeing the garbage truck ride by. His heroes are the mailman, because he loves seeing people drive mail trucks. So when you're that young, it's not about how much money a person generates more than it is about what their influence is on the community. And I feel like that side of being rich is overlooked a lot. So now that I'm older, I get influenced by different things, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
That's heavy, man.
I feel you on that.
You and I think that as you grow family and
that's good.
become more what you want to be in life, your perspective changes more. I love that, man. That's
Absolutely.
dope. That's dope.
Absolutely.
Danica, what do you think? Like, the question is, who influenced you? Where did you learn
Sure.
how to get paid?
Yeah. So my mom, it's funny because I wasn't gonna stop you, but I was just thinking as soon as you was talking about you saw the hustlers growing up, I saw my mom. Like my mom, we were in the hood. My mom was the candy lady in the hood. It started off her just doing the icy cups in the freezer, right? Flipping them upside down, the sugar on the bottom. If y'all know. So
Real
then
Dixie
it went
cup.
from there. Yeah, it went from that to her being across the street, right where they sell the drugs at, like right next to them, just about, right there. She's selling candy to everybody. Now she's got the candy, she's got the ices flowing, and I just watched her make money. And the dope boys will come up to my mom, but see, my mom out the
My
gate,
bad.
she didn't have fear. Like I remember getting into it with kids when I first got to the area, and then my mom being the one. Like my mom would go down there with her little short self, and she would knock on the people's door of whoever kid was bullying us or causing a problem, trying to fight, gang banging, whatever. And my mama and the parents will be, not far, right? Not, the apple don't far from the tree, right? So when you see problematic kids, you'll find that the parents are somehow similar. I watch my mama talk to these people, and the people are like, so what? He did something to your kid. So what? My mama would take that kid and bring them out with us. And now they be in our circle, and we all looking at them like, man, we can't wait till we catch you inside the McDonald's playground. But you know how kids are. 15 minutes in, we all friends. And my mama created a community within the community just by doing stuff
I
like
like
that.
that.
She would take all the kids who people thought were bad or they were involved in something they shouldn't have been. And my mom really trained those kids and tamed them, made them good kids. Took a lot of them to church. Some people got saved. Just watching how she dealt with things, her fearlessness, her commitment to hustle, that's what really like drove me. And when I look at some of the things she's accomplished and I look at myself, I'm like, dang, like I feel like a scaredy cat compared to my mom in some sense. You know what I'm saying? Because she's so tough. Yeah, mom, appreciate you.
Dope.
Yo, that's blessings, man. Real blessings,
Yes, sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
Having a strong mom, and that's, you know, I grew up. My father was around, but he wasn't really around like that. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, she didn't have a lot of bread, but she knew how to take some bologna, fry it up, you know what I'm saying, get some bread toasted, throw that up on there, put some cheese in there, and we were good. We're good. And I think you can't replace that. Now, how many 30 some years later, I'm looking at NDAs like, this is trash, flipping contracts inside and out. That's not far from figuring out what to eat in the morning. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
I think we got to appreciate that.
Right.
Right. So let's get ahead and get to the
So-
next one. I was saying, well, who taught you how to hustle? Who taught you how to make money? What was
Well,
it that influenced you? Who influenced you? You know what I mean?
I would say, just like him, my mom, like everybody else, mothers always go hard no matter what for their kids. But, the biggest one for me probably would be my oldest brother.
Mm.
he was a go getter. We started in New York too, and we had to move because where we stayed in Yonkers was really bad. Like our elementary school
Yonkers is
had
tough.
literally crack
Yonkers
and
is tough.
everything on the grounds. So
Shout out to
it was
YO.
real bad. So
Oh, yeah.
she moved us. But even then, my brother, like he started there, he was hustling and he started going with the wrong crowds. They ended up burning down the building. But we end up, you know what I'm saying? The crazy part is he makes 6 figures now. And you would never know, like people don't know our story. So people who see him now, they be like, yo, he was telling like, you know, we used to have to go literally pluck cereal out the cereal box. Like, you know, I don't know if you ever heard that Ghostface song, you know, All That I Have Is You, like with Mary J. Like that's literally our life story. Like and it's crazy because watching him, he graduated high school 16. So he was ahead of the curve to begin with. So he always had the mindset of trying to be better, not trying to go backwards. So that was like, to me, he was always the motivation. Like, all right, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, stay focused and get into it. Like, if you see the way my brother handle money, you'd think he like everybody hates Chris dad. Like, if you write down every receipt he get, oh yeah, let me type that
we
in.
Call that stingy.
Like he don't even count on what the bank say. He literally keeps a running tab himself. Like he doesn't even like if you look at his counting books, he got his whole account written down and he know how much is in his bank at all times, no matter what the bank say. So it's like for me, that was just like one of the main motivations. And like between him and my mom, like even my mom, like after all those years, she dealt with a lot of stuff, drugs, all that stuff too. You know, that was the 80s, you know, black families in New York. But she persevered through all of that and went back to school. So that was like, to me, that's motivation. Like she never gave up. And she kept going until the day she passed. So that's like my main motivation.
Yo, for real, let's get some money. Let's get some confetti for mama.
Yeah.
Let's get some confetti for
Shout
mama.
out moms and big bro. Mama Jedi, big bro,
and big
Jedi,
bro,
yeah.
definitely. You know, and I mean, there's nothing need to be said. I mean, you know, having a strong figure in your life, whatever it is, mama, daddy, brother, cousin, uncle, nephew, Mims, whoever it is, man, like that's all it is that can tip the scale sometimes. You know, I got family members inside, you know, doing time, and I got my brother making millions at Airbnb, you know what I'm saying, on both sides, software engineer. So like we just got to recognize how lucky we are to have made it out and identify what's going on. Sorry, security. Got to cut that off. All right, but you know what? I don't want to get bogged down in here. We got to talk some more money. I want to give the audience a chance to participate. So the lines are open if you want to make some money. This next question is $20. Jump on up to the podium. Try and get you some cash. Howard, I see you, but I don't know if you're playing or you just staying.
My dog blocking everybody. He ain't get no money.
Shout out
Come
Howard
on now.
702, even if he don't come back.
I appreciate you, Howard. You know you always show love.
Oh yeah, he going. His away turned gray.
Anybody else want to make some money? You should be able to walk past him. Come on up, step lightly. Got about 2 minutes. If you want to make some money, you're gonna answer 4 questions. Not that hard, really, when I looked at it.
Shout out Hack Ebony. Shout out Planet Laura. I see y'all.
What up, you guys are holding it down. Anybody want to make some money, or we just move on? Everybody got money already.
No man.
All right, what's the name of this game?
It's the same game. I'm gonna ask this a flash money round. I'm gonna ask 4 questions, real simple stuff, and then you know, if you get it right, you get the money. You don't get it right, you don't get the money. Nobody? Anybody? Okay,
Queenie.
here we go. Yay, Queen Boo. Appreciate you. How you doing, Boo?
I'm good. How you doing?
Cool. So I am gonna ask real fast questions for. Actually, you know, I'm not gonna give you a time limit because I think you get 4 tries. That's enough.
Oh, okay.
So here you go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So the question is, what are the 4 most popular religions of the world?
Damn.
Sorry. You got 3
That ain't one.
minutes.
We can do the next question.
Don't skip it, man. I'm sorry. I know.
Okay.
You
Well,
know
that's
at
it.
least one of them.
Let's see.
Ain't no
Okay,
Googling. You got you
No,
over
she
here looking. I
Googling.
see
Yeah,
you
don't be
looking.
shy, Queenie.
I ain't
You
doing
got
that.
30 seconds, man.
Here you go. I give
You
you. I
got
give
it,
you
Queenie.
one.
Go
You
ahead.
got
Just say
Buddhism.
what you think.
Nah,
So
I
that at
don't
least
wanna.
give you 2.
Come on, give us one. At least one
say
for
Buddhism.
You don't want to
I
answer?
said Buddha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Sorry,
Nope.
ma. Buddha's actually number 5, but it was a good shot. It was a good run, ma. I appreciate
I
you.
would have
Queen.
probably said Buddhism. Yeah, I probably would have included that in my top
It
4.
would. I would have thought so
Me
too.
too.
Christianity,
Okay.
Islam, Hinduism.
What?
Yeah. I didn't know. I was surprised myself. Yeah.
Wait, you
One
said
point two billion
so-
people in India. I mean, well, in in Southeast Asia. So I would say that makes sense.
But we gotta get these. I gotta get some easier questions. I want people to make some money. But ain't nobody got rich by just giving money away. So we gotta make it work.
You know what?
Let's get straight to.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. Mama ain't raised no fool. You got work for this cash. That's how I do it. But
And y'all are
let's get
streaming
straight
right
into
now
the
too,
next one.
right?
I think so. Yeah. If you guys want to call in, go ahead and 224-422-2238. If you want to jump in these questions, I'll take my phone is open. I will take the call. If you got the answers, you can make some money. But for right now, I want to get back into an important right there. I want to get into an important topic. And this is very important. This is about building community. Here's the question. How much of your success is from your followers versus your skill? Do your followers support you or do you support your followers?
Do your followers support you or do you? I've never even heard that asked like that.
Me neither.
I like the switcheroo on that one.
Well, listen, this is the thing. You guys have so many fans. Like if you know it or you don't know it, if you watching, they watching. And then the question becomes, are you pulling the carriage or is the carriage pushing you?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. The carriage just swoops me up, bro. I can't lie. I felt like I'm lucky, I'm blessed. And even when there tends to be like things where somebody can very well veer towards someone else, it's like I still just am able to, have people gravitate towards me. So I just think if you're good, I tell people this all the time. If you're good or if you make something that the people want, they'll come and find you. So I definitely think it's about, you definitely have to make something that they want. Now you got to put the bait out, but it's definitely all about the fish coming in for you for sure. Even if it's just one or two, I always appreciate the people who support what I do, and I think it just always puts an asterisk on what it is because people like to follow others. So you can get one, you can get two, you can get two, you can get 10. But it starts with somebody. Yeah.
So let me direct this question towards you in a different way, Mims. Having a Billboard top hit, this is why I'm hot. Crazy viral before virility was a thing, right? Would you say that you made that record hot, or did the streets make that record hot, or how would you say it?
So I guess it's two ways of looking at it, right? First and foremost, I think that you could either which way you skin it, you have to be an influencer. So either you're influencing followers or you're influencing someone who's an influencer. My goal with my music career was I wanted to build relationships with the biggest influencers in the business, so that when they, when they talked about me as a musician, or they talked up my music, or they even played my music or supported it, that their followers would follow suit. So obviously back in those times, you didn't have obviously the Instagrams or even the Facebooks for that matter. We had MySpace, which was really a really great utility tool for myself. Um, but even before MySpace kind of helped me catapult my career, I still had to build and cultivate relationships with people who were influential within the music space. Now, a lot different for me because I didn't have those traditional cosigns, right? So like if you look at like artists like, you know, Kanye, for example, Kanye had obviously one of the biggest cosigns in the business, which is Jay-Z, and Rockefeller at that time. If you look at artists like I mean, the list goes on. Dr. Dre, what Dr. Dre was for Snoop Dogg, or a lot of people have those bigger influencers who have rapport in the space that they're getting into, and then eventually it helps them catapult their career. I kind of had to take a different angle. My business partners worked in promotions department at worked in the promotions department at record labels, so they cultivated a lot of relationships with radio. And for me, it was I got on the road like a rock star. And when I say rock star, I don't mean tour bus and stuff. I mean like a minivan and some CDs, and we got on the road and we built relationships at every radio station across the country. So there's probably I won't lie to you. There's probably not a state in America that I haven't been to as far as it related to my career. In a minivan, going to a radio station to promote my music at that time, because that was the popular way of doing it. Nowadays, as what I consider myself being an entrepreneur, I don't so much focus on the people who follow me more than I do on actually like influencing the influencers, right? So if you take a look around in this room and obviously outside and in that area there, everybody in here is innovative. Everybody in here is disruptive. You guys are a part of a community that in the other world, and I don't want to say the real world because I don't know if that's disrespectful to this world, but in the other world that we operate in, what we tend to see, or what we start to see is people saying, "Hey, I don't, I'll never live my life inside of the metaverse. I can never understand what something like that is about until people actually make it acceptable." So I think if you have the power to be an influencer of the influencers, my job now would be to say, "Hey, yo," to whatever artist it may be. "Hey, I spent some time Horizons World with my man Ace, with Danica, with the Black Jedi over here, and it's cool. So let's start making it more acceptable to get another artist in here." And I think that's what I mean by influencing the influencers, so that they get the green light to do something that they never thought they would do before.
Yeah, man, that is so impactful, man. And it's necessary that we show appreciation. Everybody get some love to Mims popping in here, dropping this knowledge, sharing this wisdom. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, man. We hope that you're a bellwether. You are a bellwether, man. I think you're letting people know what's going on. Black, what you think? How much of your success? I mean, first of all, I'm probably one of your biggest fans. I don't really say that very often. I've met a lot of popular people. I used to bounce, and I practiced law, entertainment law for a little while, but I'm probably one of your biggest fans, bro. And it's weird because I see you like a brother, but I'm curious if you see your fans as pushing you, or you see yourself as pushing yourself. Which is it? Who pushes harder?
I think I push myself more because I kind of, in a sense, lay low. Like I'm more of a guy that helps. Like even in my real life, like I love doing live stream technician because I love the background to help. Like people don't see it, but it's those small, intricate things that make things go. I mean, you can look on the outside of a watch and be like, "Oh man, that's nice," but that part is not what makes the watch go. So, I'm more of the guy that's behind the scenes, And like I'll you know, a lot of people don't know I dropped the Rick Ross roll because it's like I'll just drop it and be like, yeah, you know, they'll get, like he said, they'll find it. You know, eventually, you know, I go and, you know, I just kind of play the background a lot, help a lot of people. I mean, it's
Well,
really, I don't think
let me
it's really
ask you
that many
something.
people.
So, like, when you're deciding what the next world, because obviously Rick Ross is a mega star. Everybody know Rick Ross. Did you do that because you wanted your fans to like it, or did you do it because you wanted to like it?
Well, I think it was mainly, it was a mixture of both, because when I did, like, so I got my art lounge, you know, and
Michael
vibrations,
Jackson,
and
amazing.
yeah. So I got vibrations art lounge, and I started doing like some portraits in there, and people kind of liked it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just do, you know, why not a megastar like Rick Ross? And I actually dropped it in that world first before I created a whole world for it. And, you know, everybody liked it. So I was like, shoot, let me create something that's gonna make people kind of, you know, go there, hang out, and, you know, enjoy it a little bit. So I guess in a sense you can't say, I mean, I do a lot of things because I know people like to see them, but for me it's just art. And I've always loved art. So I'm gonna do it no matter what. Like I'm gonna keep doing, whether one person show up and I get one like, I'm doing it for the art. I mean, granted, I do want, you know, people to come check it out. I mean, nobody, you know, if you're gonna build something, you still want people to come. But the main motivation is I'm gonna put out something good that I know I like. So that's why you rarely see me with the club, because I don't want to run a club. Like I want to make one because I mean I want people to come hang out, but I don't want to run it. Like I just, because the time that it takes to have to go and make sure you do updates, people gonna want this, people want that, and that kind of thing is not like, I like, man, I'm gonna leave that to DB and Dan because they, but because I mean it gets tiresome sometimes because like people like, man, you gonna open up the club, and it feel like real life. Like they be like, man, come open up the club, play some music.
And, yeah,
so
and listen, I can tell you, I appreciate you, Black, and I can tell you that, like, as an artist, you're gonna have a much longer lifespan because these clubs, I mean, there's so many of them popping up, but how many of them are gonna make a Michael Jackson? How many are gonna make a LeBron James? How many? You gotta make a Mims next. That's my request.
And what's crazy is I was thinking about it too. Like when you first got here, everybody's like, "Oh, Mims is here," and you from New York, so I'm from New York. So I was like, "Shoot, I might just do it." Like, now you're here, I definitely might though, for real. And I actually might just build a little bit of New York around it.
Hey,
that'd be dope, man. So then I can get my Soldier Boy on and say, "Hey, I was the first artist to visit his home world in the space, man." Shout to Black Jedi, for sure.
Let's make that happen. Sir. Let's make that happen,
man. Shoot, man, definitely, man. Send me some stuff, man. Where you grew up, man. We gonna make it happen.
Okay.
All right, sure, guys. So I wanna get to this last question, but before we do, and I appreciate y'all for that. That was fun. I'm gonna go ahead and try one more time to see if anybody want to make some money. Come on, guys. Here's the money break.
Bondi, get up there, man.
Bonds are open. Come on, make this money.
Right up here, Bond. Oh, he took off.
Doodle, come up here.
All right.
I'm not gonna waste too much time on this, but it's
come on,
Doolin. Oh yeah, Doolin was a guest on our last show. You might want to be a guest.
Money, man.
He's dope.
What up, guys?
What's up, brother? You want to join the panel?
Yeah, sure.
Or you want to answer these questions first? You want to try?
Well, I don't know.
Try to get some of this money.
It's $30 for this question. 5 answers.
So, just 5 questions. I don't know.
It's just one question, 5 answers.
One question, 5 answers. I'll try.
All right, here we go. This one is called Animal Kingdoms. You ready?
Okay.
Name the 5 animal kingdoms.
Oh man.
Insects, birds, bacteria, humans, and I don't know.
There's one more.
Fish. Amphibians, reptiles.
Nope.
I'm so close.
Mammals.
Trees. Trees.
Wait. Hey.
He got you, baby.
Actually,
It's okay.
fun guy.
You know, I thought I was because I thought of bacteria. I thought of bacteria because bacteria is technically a living thing, and I was like, what can be even like more substantial than that?
Drop down over here.
Where?
Oh,
Grab a
man,
seat.
You got the doodle. You got the doodle in
Dude is the
there.
man. This guy is great. Great conversation. So let's get straight into the last question. Appreciate you for that. That was fun. You made that.
Man,
Made that worth it. So
all right. No, I'll let you go.
no, what's
I
up?
just wanted to ask him some stuff. So before we
Okay,
came in
get
here,
down.
we were just kind of talking about different ways to kind of expand what's going on in here. And so kind of how when he was talking about just how he'll he'll influence the influencers, right? And so you're in this space right now. I was gonna ask you, do you think
About
and I know you said it's been a you're not on here consistently, you see the periodic changes, but do you have any inkling on what you think may be profitable here or what you think that you could bring to this space or maybe get out of this space?
Yeah, can you hear me? My I guess my
Yeah.
internet was going a little crazy. I heard. Okay, cool.
It's all good.
Yeah, I think it's clicking a little bit.
I think when people start to talk about the depths of the metaverse, right? We bring up the word metaverse and it's such an overly used word right now in the blockchain community that everyone's afraid of it, right? Everybody's afraid of what the metaverse is going to do. I mean, you look at, movies like Ready Player One, and you start to say, hey, well, if this is what the metaverse is bringing, some people are like, I don't want any parts of it. But it's funny because I was at a conference in Austin, and we always talk about like the bad parts of what the metaverse is going to do for communities, and no one ever brings up the good parts. And one of the things that I went into it was a keynote speaker saying that they were looking at building technology that would allow people who have a fear of being in public the ability to sit in a metaverse and start to overcome those fears by slowly introducing them into like public locations and getting them acclimated. And I think that when you talk about, I mean, once again, these things aren't talked about enough because when we hear things about metaverse this, metaverse that, it's really just about going in, is about people think it's a way to take over or like stop existing in the real world, so to speak. So when I see Horizons and what Meta is doing with Horizons, even though I'm not gonna lie, like when you talk about the traditional blockchain space, anything that Meta has done has been shunned upon because they say that they're not truly a decentralized economy. But I feel like without a place like this, how do you get to that step? I deal mainly in music, right? So I deal mainly in when it comes to like music and we talk about the Web 2 space, and I don't want to lose. I'm hoping everybody understands when I say Web 2 and Web 3 what the differences are. Okay, good. So dope. So like when you talk about the Web 2 space and then the Web 3 space, I see a lot of musicians strictly trying to focus on Web 3 content. And then what I try to tell people is that in order for the audience, in order for people to get acclimated in Web3 space, you have to slowly bring people from Web2 into the space that we're talking about. I think Meta's doing a fantastic job at that. With knowing that they have millions of people who purchase their headsets, what they're doing is they're helping to I guess to I want to say evangelize, but that's one way to look at it. They're helping to evangelize people into the space. They're also helping at mass adoption, right? So when it comes to people like yourselves, that the guys, people here at this round table, and also the people sitting on the outside, what I feel is the most important part is as people start to come in, and I think Ace, you've done a really great job at it, is really try to create world that they are familiar with, so that when they come in, they're already acclimated. So I don't necessarily understand the whole monetization of this space more than you guys do, obviously. But what I'm seeing is
It's
that
invaded.
if you
As far as
have
that.
way,
That's the biggest
you know,
part.
you talked about a strip club. Yeah, I mean, so basically, you're saying it's on the way, right?
It's in development, yes, sir.
I think
exactly.
it's all a matter of perspective. And what I mean by that is it's everybody finds some type of monetary value in this space in one shape or form, whether it's someone giving, like we talked about it before, educating people on how to do things here and paying them through PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. Right now, it's a lot of word of mouth. Like, hey, if you help me do this, I'll pay you $20. What's your Cash App? On, because right now they're not including that in these platforms for good reason, because you do have a lot of kids on here, and you can see kids probably lose control, just like in the real world with their parents' cell phone. But then there's other values, like the values that I see that I monetize.
Well, you can't pay
here
for
is-
things on that app.
I'm sorry.
You can pay for
in-world
things
purchases.
on Horizon. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. But like to me, a lot the value that I see in this is the ability that I live in in Winston, North Carolina, right? And maybe I'm not in these inner circles of people that are dealing in art and being creative, and they're hard to find. But here I can find them, and I don't have to type to them. I don't have to send long-winded messages. I can actually sit and communicate with you just like we would in person. And the value of that is that if you see value in what I do and I see value in what you do, and we have a connection, whether it's relationships, for work, projects, whatever, when we see each other in person, separating the fact that you have to get acclimated now to meeting a person in person, you've already have that relationship built, and it makes it easier to just start rolling into whatever you want to work with the person. So if you meet someone on here that, let's say you build a world that's full of clips of your music, and they happen to be in the music industry, and they go, you know what, I really like what you have. Do you mind giving me a few minutes tomorrow to go on a call and discuss business? That right there just pays off for all the time that you spend in here working on it. You know, and that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean the networking aspect is amazing. I mean, obviously that's probably the most obviously usable use case of this. But I also, and you're absolutely right. Everything you said is on point. Just taking it a step further, I just feel like there are the networking aspect of anything. I mean, we talk about Web 2, Instagram obviously was created to network, MySpace, Facebook, all of these apps were created to network. The issue obviously that we've always encountered in Web 2 compared to Web 3 is that our information is for sale. So anytime you do something on one of those apps or anything in that vein, you pretty much giving up a lot of your freedom. Right. So whether it be in cross tracking, as they say, or like being tracked so that you can be sold something to, or just simply, which is the biggest one, obviously. Every time you open up a pop-up or a browser, they're telling you something that you should buy that you already looked up, which I hate, by the way. But I think when you talk about Horizons and you talk about Meta, you talk about this virtual reality space, and you talk about the networking aspect that you just brought up. What we obviously, where we want to get to, or at least from my perspective, is some people are just plain sick and tired of what's going on in the real world, right? So some people need to find an escape, to find some sort of an entertainment, to find things that they can do or be entertained by. If I came to I was I think I followed you, Ace, into a room, and it was a courtroom. And I don't know if it was but it made me laugh. So my point is to say is that when I'm coming in, it's invoking emotion, and I think those emotions are valuable. So if we can continue to create these worlds where you can invoke emotion, whether it be through music or art or whatever that may be, this is a great stepping stone for a lot of people who don't get to experience these things on an everyday basis.
It is therapeutic.
Right.
Yeah,
And I want to
it
give a
is-
big
yeah.
shout out to Herbert.
Right,
Herbert
right.
designed that world, amazing script, amazing builder. Shout out to Juju and Meta Streets. Herbert also
Hey.
designed their world. Very talented. Juju, did you want to
Shout
say
out
something?
Juju,
I'll
man.
give you this. I'll give you a floor.
I don't even know what are we talking about right now.
I'll come back. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
No, what's the exact
And
subject?
just-
We were just talking about Metaverse, man. Talking about, what could
Yeah.
be improved. What's the use of this place?
Right.
And
And like you said, like to expound upon what he said and then give you kind of some context what we were talking about. Like he was talking about the networking aspect. Also, people are using it for entertainment. I think it's so much more valuable to be doing this than sitting in front of a TV screen, man.
Oh yeah,
Just
definitely.
ingest. No socialization. I mean, we're actually moving our bodies, especially depending on different experiences you can
We're
do on here.
challenging
You can
each
get
other.
a full sweat if you want. Yes, of course.
This is a
But we're
platform.
socializing.
This is a
Mhm.
platform that's designed to challenge the user because there has to be a line drawn and where you say, you know what, you're gonna be in this space. Yeah, you can't say and do certain things, but not everything is gonna be, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't just,
And when you say challenge the
silence
user, who do you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
When you say challenge the user, who do you mean? Like
Challenge
all of us?
ourselves. When we come on here, I'll give you an example
Mhm.
without naming the name of the podcast, but I've been on other podcasts before where I got to a point where I feel like I can't be on it anymore, participate, because I feel like it was a lot of the stuff that was being said on
Mhm.
face value. Yeah, it sounds kind of funny, but the more I sat down on my everyday, the day after, or the day after that, after participating, it made me feel like, you know what? I'm not that person. I'm not that person to believe in that stuff. And I had to make a choice. Do I want to continue to participate with those ideas just because I want to be included in something that everybody likes? Or do I walk away from it because I don't believe in that? And since I don't believe in it, I shouldn't be partaking in it just for
And
the
that's
hell
real
of it.
world. That's
And that's
peer
real
pressure
world.
for you. You know,
Yeah,
that's
and
something we
that's
deal
real,
with
yeah.
in real life.
Something I want to share with you guys, and never mind the source of this, but somebody once told me to stop calling this place. It's the metaverse, but we shouldn't call the physical world the real world. And that's something that kind of stuck with me as I started building more and spending more time in here. And you were right to correct yourself too, Mims. This is not anything different from the real world. This is the real world that we're in
There's
right
real
now.
people
Yes, it's
behind
the
these
metaverse.
avatars.
I might be in Lagos, Nigeria. You guys might be in New York or North Carolina, but this is really happening. Like the things that I say have real consequences. They affect people's emotions. And
It's
to
no
me,
different
that
than
is
typing something on
Yeah.
Instagram. If you post something on Instagram, that's something you said socially. Me responding on there doesn't make it less real. So it's no different than you saying what you say and I'm saying it back to you. Now you just actually have something to attach it to. So
No, agreed.
And there's a lot more morality involved as far as normally, right? Let's say just me for instance. I'm protective of my space. So there's a certain amount of space that people will usually have to be in proximity to me. There's a certain amount of censorship that's involved. We're dealing with just anybody. Anybody. There's a certain amount of you can't say anything. So this kind of takes the lid off of what people normally would say in real person. So there's that element to it that's kind of unrealistic. I mean, if you're a black gamer, you've known about this for like decades, right? Because as soon as when they first got on the headsets, right? When we first got on the headsets and we started playing the game, it was like, oh wait, this is what they saying.
You especially Xbox. Oh, forget it.
Come on, man. Yeah. Oh, it goes back farther than Xbox, but yeah. I mean, a
Well,
lot of these things are things that people.
You bring up a good point. It really does
security.
change. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Roland.
No, I'm saying it does create somewhat of a mask or security for some people, but you're gonna have those people everywhere. So whether whether they choose to use this platform to do it or another one,
right?
so
Or Facebook comments, Xbox,
right? You can see it
Right.
everywhere. It's social. This is a
Right.
social area, so you're gonna find people who have their their way of life, and they want to still project it in here. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't last long in most worlds because we could just boom get you out of there. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean,
Exactly.
Meta-
I mean that's
Meta
why I
will come for
like
that
this
account, too.
because
Come back in.
yeah, I'm just saying that's why I like this is because now you can kind of almost create your circle in here, saying like these are the people I kind of want to hang out with, and you also don't have to corner yourself. So if you wanted to branch out and start to learn about other people, talk to other people, like the fact that they made like an Islamic world, I thought that was dope. Like
I
you
didn't
would
even know
never
about
be able
that.
to experience. You would never be able to experience that.
That's
You know what I'm
dope.
saying? In the real world, you'll never be able to go to
Gang, gang,
Cali, or some people may never be able to go to Cali. Some people may never be able to go to Alaska, but you can experience those things in here a little bit. Like if you've never been to Memphis, Tennessee, Meta Big Chief created that whole world. You get to experience those things with someone too as well. So that's a beautiful thing that this has brought to us, because now I can see your perspective and I can see your perspective and kind of see what goes on around your world, and that kind of inspires each other. Like, I mean, I know people see his studio and it's like, shoot, let me build a studio. And honestly, there may be I'm not throwing shade at you, but there might be a studio that may look better than his. But guess what? His studio is still gonna be his studio. People are still gonna be to the stew.
Yeah.
Don't care however you look at it. People still gonna go to
Yeah.
the stew because
Right.
But
that's where it
but
is.
that's why I mentioned before.
And
like,
everybody's
this is-
gonna have their own opinion, right? You might think
Right,
one is better.
exactly.
I might think mine is the best, right? Or you might think mine is the best. I might think somebody else is better. It's all interpretation because this is just art.
Perspectives, yeah.
Yeah, but that's why,
Definitely.
like I mentioned before, this is a platform that challenges people to push to do something different. Be in conversations with other people that you normally wouldn't hang out with or necessarily agree with, but you actually hear their words. They're not typing it up. I always tell people I hate texting with the people that I love, especially when we're texting about serious things, because the meaning of the words, the feeling of the word gets lost when you type it, compared to when you actually have to say it to someone in their face. It comes off differently. That's why I feel like I love this platform doing this way.
Yeah.
Because what I mean. You hear the tone and the context of my voice and how I'm saying it to you. There's no more confusion. It is what it is. If I'm angry at you, I'm angry at you. If I'm happy with you, I'm happy with you, because you're hearing
Once we
me
get
say
the
it.
facial expressions, then that'll really be valid. Once we get
It
the
reminds
facial
me of an
expressions,
episode
it'll
of
take
K
it
and
to a whole
Peele
different level.
when they were texting each other about the game, and K was like, "Hey man," he's like, "Hey, you want to go to the game?" He's like, "All right," and he's looking at him, he's like, "All right." What you mean, all right? He's like, "What you mean?" He's like, "What you mean? I want to go."
This is all
And he's
evolution. This is technical evolution. We evolved
it's
in
getting-
biology, but then technology too. Sorry.
Right, and it's getting more and more advanced. The new headset is now gonna see you're gonna have eye contact, which is gonna add another element, and then one day there'll be a pressure suit, and then sex
It's
always
gonna have
evolves
face
faster than
tracking,
everything
too.
else.
Hey man, what y'all? So real quick. I know we in the midst of our last time. What y'all think about the Pico 4 Pro? Have y'all even heard of it?
I like it.
That's the
It's better than the
competition.
Quest 2, but the Quest 2 is so old. I'm just optimistic for October.
What about
Once
this
October
is-
is over, you can ask me that again. I'll definitely be able to. Because
I don't think it's
gonna
gonna compare with the. I don't think it's gonna
Somebody
compare with the
said
new one.
I think it's. So how much
Well, I'm
is the
talking about
Pico 4?
The Pico 4 right now is $399 and $429, I think.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Now they said Q2 was gonna come out at $600, $800, and they came out cheaper than Quest 1, right? So I'm not gonna go all the way with the news. Everybody's been saying it's gonna be so
Yeah, he said
expensive.
more than 800 himself. Zuck.
For the new
Well,
headset.
look, that's a far away from 1,500 though.
Listen,
Well, yeah. Hopefully it ain't 1,500 because
I'm gonna be honest.
That's a tough pill.
I'm riding with Meta right now, so I'll get it, and then you know, I have to do a review, but I'll be honest. You know, I'll tell you which one I think is the best.
It's
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
be expensive.
we're highly invested, but guys, listen, I want to stay on message. We got to be respectful of the timing.
Yes, sir.
'cause
Yes,
I know
sir.
everybody's
Yeah.
got stuff going, so
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
get
yeah.
to this last question. Audience members, if you have questions, you can line up at the end. This is the last question here, and you know, Mims, I'm not gonna lie, I wrote this question mostly for you. You know, and this is about the next big thing, right? Everybody who's tuning in has one idea, another idea, but nobody knows. So let's just put our minds together now. What's the next big thing? What do you think the next big thing? And not too long ago, they were like, it's 3D printing. Then they said it was crypto. You know, then they said metaverse. What do you think is the next big
It's
thing?
about to die.
Last question.
I,
Should we come back to
I
you
mean,
and get
that's
Black first?
I think
Well,
he meant.
yeah,
Wait, are you still here?
Black.
He's
if
still
you,
here.
If you
I'm here. Can you hear me?
no.
Yeah, no.
We hear
We
you,
meant
Mims.
Black Jedi. I
Black
think he.
Jedi
I think he
said
might
cut
have.
out.
He might have timed out.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
I
okay.
can hear y'all. But
Okay, there
Oh,
you go.
we hear
There you go.
too.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
it's I can't see nothing moving, but I can hear y'all.
Yeah, you
All
frozen.
right,
But
yeah.
Can hear you.
what do you think the next big thing is before you finish?
I think the next biggest thing is AR.
Augmented
To
reality.
be honest with you, yeah, because I think they're trying to incorporate that. That's why they put it on a new one, because I honestly think they knew that their people are gonna start pushing that more. Because if you look at the cameras, they went harder than anybody else. 6 cameras on the front. So I think that they knew what was coming and they're trying to in a sense corner the market on it. So to me, I think the AR part of it is going to be dope because you'll be able to do the same things. And imagine being able to take what you see in front of you and bring it in front of someone else. So now you can share your actual space with somebody. So honestly, I believe that's going to be like the next biggest thing with
that's
the
pretty.
be able to like, I imagine like being able to see people can see your living room while y'all watching the game, or you sitting in your own living room watching the game. Like I think that's going to be the way they're going to make it more inclusive and more bring people to you, because the whole aspect of, as far as Horizon goes, the one thing that everyone wants right now is video. Like we go to other places for it. So we go to, alt space and VR chat. But if they ever bring it here, no one's gonna. I feel like no one's really gonna be leaving.
That's dope. I hear that. What do you what do you think, Danica? I'm trying not to shoot that kid, by the way. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah.
What do I think about AR? Or what's
no,
going
what
to
do
be
you
the
think?
next?
What's the next big investment? What should we all be looking forward to? What's the next big thing? Investment.
The high definition version of what we're doing right now. That's gonna take everything to a whole nother level.
Metaverse.
We can look at this and some people on the
2.5,
outside they
16.
look at it and they think that we're kind of video gaming right
game.
now because of how simplistic everything is. But we're just in development. Well, I mean, we're fresh out of beta and we're still updating things as we go. So just like he said, we don't even have video yet, and we all know, I'm not touching that. But so it's like if everybody just stays tuned and just watches what's going on here, this is going to be the epitome of the metaverse. I think the Facebook has their foot in the door. They own the hardware, right? They're creating incredible software. We got people like Mims coming in where you can actually come up in here and speak to them and ask them questions. You got a whole bunch of different artists coming in. I've got a chance to work with some great people like Sunny Digital and Black Bo from Travis Porter, D-Lo the Diamond Man, Double A, all these great
Smith.
people I met inside Horizon Worlds. And I didn't have to go through, 8 or 9 or 10 people to deal with them. I just had to, just like right now, like I don't have to, I'm not saying you have people in front of you or anything, but it's like, just imagine it's so hard to get to certain people that's, up here. You usually got to go through this person, that person. It's like direct connect. The fact that we can just be at a podcast studio and I'm sitting in my living room. Yeah, once they get the NFTs going in here and we're able to really trade and own branded, lifetime intellectual property that's only going to gain value. The metaverse to me isn't going anywhere. Even when it goes into AR, we're just going to do a combination. I don't even think you're going to have to choose, right? I think a lot of AR will just I think it will be a lot used for decorating things that we already have. It's going to make the plane beautiful, right? You're going to look at your milk carton, and instead of you just looking at it, it's going to be an expiration date floating on the top of it. Like you guys mentioned, going to the football game. I want the football game on my floor, like the field. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch the field, watch everybody move like that. I think that's really what AR is going to be used for, to just make what we're already doing much better. Hopefully, it doesn't get too complicated. I don't want people being able to like scan my face while I'm walking, or it can get crazy, man. When you think
late,
about
man.
what people are using cameras for, like
Too late.
what's going on overseas. Talk about it, Doodle. Talk about it.
What do you think, Doodle?
I think
I'll
AR
be
is a
right
big
back,
deal.
guys. I'm coming right back.
I think AR is a big deal for the consumer, for the basic everyday Joe kind of consumer, because I think about it about like how Steve Jobs used to run things in Apple. It's all about making a good product that's easy to use, even for the simplest person who doesn't really know what they're doing. So, you know, you guys say AR and high def. I see a guy going to a Best Buy, and instead of dropping, I mean, look at how big TVs are getting, 8K televisions. You're talking about $5,000 to $6,000. What if I told you you can buy an $1,100 or $800 headset that has 4K, and you can not only see your living room, but you can see that 100-inch television that you couldn't really afford, or 150-inch television. Now you actually get to see it. It's not physically in your living room, but you can see it through a headset, through the same quality as if it was actually there. You're going to be opening up so many things that the average consumer can't really afford, and give them value with it. I feel like that's where this has to go next. When they raised the price on the headset, it was for a reason, because they know that what's really going to come now is everyday you people getting on this and using it for everyday life. Especially the AR component, the fact that I can sit at my desk, and maybe I don't need to buy, if I needed 3 monitors, maybe I don't have to buy those 2 other monitors. I got the one monitor, and my 2 extra monitors are now in AR, and I can have them wherever I want in the room, and design my workspace, my life space around it, and just take my headset off, put it on my desk, and walk away. That's my office, my headset, and I can take it with me wherever I go. That to me is going to be the big one, when you can bring that person into this space with as little trouble as possible, and bring their life in here. That's going to be, to me, the big one.
Can I say mine before you do yours? Because I know you're gonna have
absolutely
the right answer.
No, absolutely.
So,
No.
me, I'm coming from an entrepreneurial background. I'm delving into so many different areas. I'm tapping. I think what
I love your music video, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man.
When you on the
Nothing close
loudspeaker,
to,
I was like, "Yo, this is turn."
nothing close to, I don't have the production value that you guys had, but what I'm learning is that a lot of times the future is simpler than we expect, right? And so it usually flashes back 20, 30 years, and it repeats, right? So like back in those days, I'm sorry, I know this is a long-winded answer, but back in those days when, they said, oh, you could never have a phone and be talking, while you're walking down the street. People made that sci-fi, right? And that was Star Trek, right? And that was this. And we got to look back to those times again and kind of look at the future. In my opinion, and this is crazy, but I believe it, we're transitioning from these wires. We're getting away from these wires. I believe that is the future. Wireless technology for charging, right? Where you don't have to have your phone or your computer or anything actually attached to the wall. No longer is it necessary for you to be plugged in, right? Everybody's mobile now. So now you walk into a field and it charges your devices. It charges your computer. You're moving away from all of these settled technologies and into the now free wireless space. That's my opinion, and I'm not going to tell you what I'm investing in unless you tap in with me, but it's coming. That's what I think. And I'm going to shoot this guy.
Cool.
Okay, maybe not.
There you go.
You want it?
Letting you shoot him.
I'm not going to play this game. Go ahead, man. What do you think? What do you think the next thing is?
Well, I think you guys hit everything pretty much on the head in regard to like augmented reality, virtual reality. So I mean, from a technological standpoint, especially as it relates to hardware, I just think as everything just gets more enhanced, right? So, you go from like you said, having a phone that's attached to a wall to fast forward, we're spending $1,500 to $1,800 on cell phones that take incredible pictures. And so as it relates to hardware, I definitely don't I definitely agree. Like that's pretty much where we are, and we'll just keep getting introduced to newer, cooler things. If you ask me about what I think is next, it really depends on the industry. And
what should we let's talk about this big money makers, right? Let's talk about the next 20 years. If you put it in now, right, let's look backwards. Like, okay, somebody said, hey, there's gonna be a bookstore that's on the internet, and they got to do is put $1 in, and in 10 years from now you'll get $1 million out.
Grow your money. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is like that now?
I mean, I'm still really bullish on blockchain. I mean, obviously, this is not a decentralized platform like I discussed before, but the aspects and the elements of the metaverse, is what they like to say, is all. I mean, this is the first iteration of it, right? So this is where it begins. But I think with blockchain technology, when you talk about the fundamentals of what it is and what it's supposed to do, and obviously creating a decentralized environment where people are actually incentivized to do everyday things in life. So, for example, there's companies that are building apps or decentralized apps that if as you walk, you generate cryptocurrency. You play games, play to earn. With the play to earn sector right now, when you play video games, you're generating cryptocurrencies. Now these ecosystems need to kind of they have a lot of work they need to do, to be honest with you, to get things right. But I think that we're headed in a good direction, which means that every industry we can probably think of has the ability to be disrupted. So everything from music, which is what I'm heavily involved in, to movies, film, TV shows, anything on the traditional rights, the IP side. So you talked about NFTs being a big thing, and I feel like, even though NFTs are like an overly used word nowadays, really and truly what you're talking about is being able to build a community of followers who will support anything that is IP related. So any intellectual property thing that's related, anything that's related to IP, where you can use non-fungible tokens to help support it from a future standpoint. So essentially what that means, and I don't want to like just spew out all these words, but essentially what that means is that we no longer have to think about things being in the millions of fans and millions of viewership realm, right? So when it comes to like technology now, because you can cultivate a community and figure out ways to kind of like live off and feed off of that community and barter with that community, you no longer have to have 1 million people to be a popular musician. You can have a good strong community of 1,000 fans and still generate enough money to live a good life. So I'm really heavy on blockchain because I think everything we talked about, whether it be AR or VR, has at some point has the ability to be decentralized and award the end user for being a part of the economy in the beginning. And that's the beauty about where we're headed.
Man, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it because it needs to be said because it's a reality of the world. I think one product or business, however you want to label it, that's going to benefit big time from VR, this type of VR, and especially when it becomes way more mainstream. I'm just gonna say it's gonna be porn.
We know it.
Porn is gonna is gonna hit it so hard, no pun intended. They're gonna knock it out of the park. They're gonna make so much freaking money when they find a way to get in here and have like an app and figure out what I mean. They're gonna kill it. I mean,
you don't gotta say it. I'll say it. So I had that strip club, right? You know how I made $200 on my first night opening? Because I had private rooms and I hired girls and I trained them, and they were also just hustlers.
Bro,
and I made more money from those back rooms.
Oh my God.
I made more money in Cash App from them back rooms, people coming in for 2-3 sessions, than I did for I charged people $2 admission to get into the VIP section.
That is,
but them back rooms were clicking, man. And you know what? Listen, let's be honest. If you're a hustler, you gotta respect the game. I mean, that's where the money is. That's where the money is.
That's what I'm saying.
Sells,
that is genius, bro. That is freaking genius.
I don't like that word. We had a good time.
No, man.
I think anything where you're piquing the interest of people, you know, whether it be something like that, whether it be porn, you know, some people are into like church, some people are into like music and entertainment. Some people literally just want to see us sit here and talk. Like that. There's such a large audience, you know, for information in all different sectors. I think if you're just well versed and you got the info, people will come, man. And I look at some of the things that's going on in here, and I'm wondering, you know, how can we get more people like Mims in the space? And it's really just to continue doing this, man. You're laying out the red carpet for other people, you know, and letting them know that, you know, staples like somebody like Mims, bro. It's like I mentioned him I went to my my uncle's yesterday, and my uncle, I was like, man, I'm on a panel with Mims tomorrow. He was like, word? Mims? Yeah, for real. Yeah, he was tripping. You know what I'm saying? It's being able to do stuff like this, man. You really putting a stake in the ground. So I just wanted to say, like, really the future, you're laying it out right now, bro.
I appreciate it, but you guys are the future though, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Let me I have to run this by you, and then we gotta let these people go. I know so many folks jumping in, jumping out. But I gotta ask you, Mim. So I don't know if people know how much of a hard turn it was for me. I'm a musical artist, you know. Shout out to Ace Burns, the music entity. That's one of my careers. And if you haven't checked it out, definitely check out Blackberry Wine. But beyond me, and you know, this is about all of us. How much respect I have to give you for going from hip hop to entrepreneurship, man. Wait, Mims, are you there? I think we lost him. I think we lost Mims.
That sucks.
Yeah, he'll probably be back. He probably lost his headset price. But I was gonna tell him, you know, massive respect, not just for, you know, being a groundbreaking musician, but also from taking that energy and then, you know, transferring into entrepreneurship and investing in blockchain technology and VR. But you know, I just appreciate it. Let's get some love for Mims real quick.
Yeah, shout out Mims, man.
So yeah, that's the show.
Shout
I'm gonna go ahead and
for getting them in there,
appreciate you, man. But I just want to show, you know, appreciation for all the guests that came in tonight. Rhonda, Black Jedi, Mims, Danica, thank you. Doodle and Dork. Yo, you guys did a phenomenal job. It was a lot of fun chopping it up with y'all. Anything y'all want to say to the people before we sign off?
Where should I be looking at? Benefit. All right, yeah. So
give a benefit.
Just
or
keep
DJ.
a lookout. Yeah, keep a lookout for what I'm doing on Horizon Worlds, man. Should be dropping the world in the next week. A little escape room for you guys. Make sure you check out the stew. I'm featuring the venues right now. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and everything else. Danica VR. If you need to contact me, danicavr@gmail.com. Shout out Ace Burns, man. Get rich with us. Shout out the platform. Shout out y'all for coming through.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Dooley, you got anything going on you want to talk about before we sign out?
Nothing on this platform itself, but if you follow me on Instagram, same name, the Dueling Dork, I'm deciding to go back to what makes me happy. I do a lot of freelance work, illustration, graphic tee designs for customers, but I'm trying to put more focus into my own brand and trying to do more apparel for kids. There's plenty of guys out there trying to cater to the 30 somethings and the 40 somethings, but I feel like there's nobody catering to their kids and what they like. So I'm trying to put more focus and product out there for them. So I'll be doing much more of that in the future.
Dope. Yeah, well, thank you. And like I said, if you haven't checked me out, Ace Burns on Instagram. Song Blackberry Wine is out. Run it up. Love you guys. This has been Meta Money Talk, episode 2. Peace. Thank you guys. All right, let me get you guys out of here. Bow, 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 bow.
I did not mean to get in here.
Hold on.
I did not mean to get in here. Shit.